Hey guys, Zen here, and today I want to talk about the most recent news for Rainbow Six Siege. For those unaware, just recently Ubisoft announced a new TTS that'll be making its way to the game, and with it comes some pretty serious operator buffs and nerfs, most of which have the majority of this community frustrated, confused, or a mixture of both. So starting off with some changes coming to IQ. Firstly, she's going to be losing her frag grenades in favor of a claymore. Really, no matter what way you look at this change is definitely a nerf to IQ. Being 3 speed with great guns and a passive ability makes her a great fragging operator. And in my opinion, when you give her a claymore, it really doesn't match her playstyle at all. When you think about IQ as an operator, her overall gameplay style, what she's best used for, she should be the more aggressive operator that's pushing into the objective more quickly than the other ones and using her gadget as a way to light the path for her teammates, letting them know where certain enemy gadgets are, like goo mines, Jaeger ADS, that kind of thing. Her playing passive and in the back and using a claymore as a way to watch a flank, again, really just doesn't match her overall play style. You've also got to realize that at this point, IQ is the only operator in this game that has 3 speed and a frag grenade. And I'm not sure if that's just something that Ubisoft doesn't like or doesn't want to see in this game, because you also have to remember that Capital also lost his frag grenades and is also a 3 speed operator. Ubisoft seems to have these rules in the studio where certain things aren't allowed. We see this with ACOG scopes on defense. For a long time, we had ACOG scopes on Jaeger and Bandit, and then all of a sudden they made this rule that nothing but a 3 armor operator can have an ACOG scope on defense. Now, I'm not saying that balance change wasn't necessary. I'm also not saying that it didn't positively reflect on the game, because it definitely did. But I can't tell you how many people I see that are genuinely upset and genuinely want to see an ACOG back on Bandit and Jaeger, and also just wipe that rule away entirely so that we may see those scopes on other operators that aren't 3 armor operators. In general, I can't say that I disagree with that statement, because it also allows a little bit more gameplay diversity. So when it comes to the frag grenade and IQ, generally speaking, I don't think anybody wanted this to happen. I also don't think anybody sees this as a necessity or something that needed to be done to balance the game in any way. However, I won't act like I don't see some of the issue in having a 3-speed operator with a frag grenade. If you think about how quickly an IQ, an Ash, or even a Capital can get on site, maybe Ubisoft has some sort of data that says, hey, when we give a 3-speed operator a frag grenade, they get on site quickly, they use that frag grenade as either utility or as a way to get some quick cheeky kills, and it's just too much. It's the same reason, again, we saw them take away the ACOG scope for Bandit and Jaeger. They had data that proved that spawn peaks were happening way too frequently and way too easily with 3-speed operators on defense. So again, it's possible Ubisoft has the kind of data that shows when you give a 3-speed operator on attack a frag grenade, it's just a little too strong and shouldn't be something that's baked into the meta. But it doesn't stop there. She's receiving another nerf to her gadget this time. Now it'll have a little bit less range than it did initially, so you won't be able to see electronics from as far away. This obviously is a problem with the community, because IQ's gadget is already considered super underwhelming, and now that Ubisoft is taking it a step back even further, people are getting super frustrated and really don't understand why this was necessary. Now, one of the reasons I think Ubisoft decided to make this change is because of all of the new electronically powered gadgets there are on defense this season. If you think about it, introduced this season were the bulletproof camera, Alibi's holograms, Maestro's evil eye, and an additional yokai drone for Echo, which IQ can see all of and from pretty far away. With Maestro in particular, it's become somewhat meta to place his evil eye gadgets outside of the objective, or even outside in general, so maybe Ubisoft understands this and doesn't want IQ to so easily counter the evil eye gadget once it's placed out there. That's also a really big possibility. So those are the nerfs coming to IQ with the new TTS, but she isn't the only operator that'll be seeing some changes. Blackbeard's rifle shield gadget will actually be seeing a reduction of 10 HP per shield. So originally they're 60 HP, and now that'll be reduced down to 50, so a clean 100 across both shields for this operator. Now, in my opinion, this isn't as big of a nerf as, say, the removal of frag grenades from IQ, but it is still pretty significant considering this is what this operator is all about. However, they have countered this nerf with a little bit of a buff where, while the shield is equipped to your rifle, you'll be able to move a little bit faster. And we all know how cumbersome and how clanky walking around as Blackbeard is when you have his rifle shield gadget equipped. In general, there really isn't too much to say about this nerf slash buff. I think they're there's really not much that you can do about Blackbeard. If I'm honest, I think Ubisoft would probably love to remove him entirely from this game because he represents a major flaw with this game by negating the one-shot headshot mechanic, but they know that they obviously can't full out remove this operator without driving the community absolutely mad, so they will continue to nerf this operator into oblivion. The next operator that'll be seeing a change, which is actually very minor, is Dokkaebi. She'll be losing her claymores in favor of flashbangs. Now, honestly, I don't think this is really going to impact this operator much because everybody uses Dokkaebi pretty much with the smoke grenades. She's a really great option to pair up with Jackal or Glaz to have a lot of smoke grenades on attack, which is probably one of the best, if not the best, secondary gadget you can have on attack. So her having flashbangs, even though I know there will be some Dokkaebi mains who really enjoy that, and I think it will pair pretty nicely with her gadget, losing another claymore on attack really isn't the end of the world, especially if IQ will be receiving it. IQ has been being picked a little bit more recently, so I don't think that that'll make a huge difference in the long run. Finally, we have a couple of buffs coming to Finka. Firstly, she'll be losing her flashbangs and be receiving frag grenades, and secondly, Smoke's gas canisters will now have a damage reduction of 0.5 while Finka's adrenaline boost gadget is active. Now, this is another change that a lot of the community did not see coming and really didn't see necessary. If we look back on data, Finka was one of the highest as far as win rates on attack, and nobody really saw her as needing a buff. In my personal opinion, I always thought Finka's main assault rifle needed to be buffed because it feels really weak and is definitely one of the weakest assault rifles on attack. But giving her frag grenades isn't the way to compensate for that, and I think is going to shoot Finka's pick rate through the roof. As it stands now, the community already looks at her like she's a little bit too strong and too easy of an operator to use. With one click of a button, the entire attacking team gets a health increase as well as no recoil for their weapons, and all of this lasts for 20 seconds each. With 3 uses, you get a full minute with this operator's gadget active, which is nothing more than a buff to the attacking team. Other than that smoke counter, there really is no damage taken or no harm done when Finka is using her ability, which I think is the majority of the community's problem when it comes to her gadget specifically. With these buffs, you'd think Ubisoft would balance that out with a nerf to her gadget, maybe just by taking away one of those uses like they did similar to Lion. But no, they simply buffed her in the best ways possible, and there really is no counter to any of this. Finka is just better now, which is just confusing. But that's everything, guys. Those are the changes that are coming to a new TTS. Most times, the changes that they introduce in a TTS do make it to the live game, so it can be assumed that these will be some changes that we'll see in a new update very, very soon. But I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on all of these nerfs and buffs? Do you think that the nerf to IQ was warranted or was needed in any way? Are you excited about some of the changes and buffs coming to Finka? Let me know everything in a comment down below. If you did enjoy this video, please drop a like and subscribe with notifications if you're new. With that being said, it's been Zen.
Hey, I'm out.